upside down and shaking all around. They see no end inside. I thought I was losing. I remember what you say. You've got a place for me. Protection from the storm. It's you I'm choosing. You've got a love so pure. It pulls me in for sure. It's all consuming. Your gentle lovingness washes away my mess. It proves you truly love the real me. Behold the beauty of the Lord. Oh, it washes me whiter than snow. Oh, this I know for sure. Your love, it makes me pure. Come wash over me and make me clean. Behold the beauty of the Lord. When I wanna run away, you gently reach for me. You set me up so high, I have no worries. You did not hide your face.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Try to catch me howling at the moon.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to Recovery Unplugged Live. Amy, how are you?
You know, pretty much everything is good, but I am sad to announce that my friend and mentor and frequent wonderful guest on here, Del Weston, passed away at the end of August. And of course, it leaves a big hole in everything. Oh, I don't want to cry.
Yeah. Well, we saw the Old King Cole trailer, and he was going to be heavily featured in that. But it really, just an inspiration. He was an inspiration through his festival to so many people, and turned it into like a 17 different. You know, the AOF Megafest is a legend in the indie film community, and also like in Las Vegas itself. So.
Wow, pretty cool.
Yeah, and yes,
we loved having him on.
Yeah, he was always like, it's like if I didn't have a lot prepared, he was great. He would be good for a good 10 to 20 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
And we have Elizabeth Gerald with us today.
Yes.
And we're going to interview her in a minute. How are you, Elizabeth?
I'm fine. And you?
Oh, I'm good.
That's good.
Yeah. Glad to have you on. Amy,
Thank you for having me.
Oh, sure. We're glad to be back. It's been too long.
Yes.
I could imagine.
It's been too long.
And to be honest, after Del passed, it was really hard to kind of get it together. But as far as
I can imagine.
So as far as updates go, recently went to the Christian Film Festival in Virginia. We won 9 juried awards, and we swept the fan favorite categories, including Best Director. But like the whole cast won. It's like done on a scoring scale for the juried award.
Mm-hmm.
So if the actor scored so many points, they won an award for their category. Wow. So like,
pretty cool.
So Megan, Jenny, I almost called him Patrick, Brandon, Anita, the narrator won an award too. So,
wow.
You know, Maria Christian. So, and of course, Stephanie Ray won for Best Song. and so it was really nice. I stepped in the ocean for the first time, and the water was freaking cold, freezing.
What do you
So,
mean for the first
Yeah.
time?
but I've never stepped in the ocean before.
Really?
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
I've seen both the
Uh-huh.
Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, but I've never
And what ocean were
stepped.
you in?
Step in it.
What ocean
Wow.
did you step in?
I want to say Atlantic because I was in Virginia.
Yeah, you were.
Okay, I was like, I'm not very good at geography.
Right.
California is Pacific.
Yes.
Yeah. So that brings our award total to 178, and nominations to over 100. I just stopped counting the nominations because it's just
Wow.
crazy.
That's awesome.
Cool.
And there's some things like certain producers. I can just say that.
I always like how Amy tries to tease and she's trying to figure out how much she can say as she's
I
saying
don't want to just blast it, right? So
Right.
I have certain producers, one who we've had on this show before, and one through some other people, and they are reviewing the Letters to Daniel television series spun off from the movie. I have signed with a manager and recently a literary agent for my books. So so it's all going pretty good, and we've got some notifications for some other festivals coming up, and mostly so, and of course that about sums it up. I want to put the focus on our amazing guest today, Elizabeth Gerald.
Yeah,
she is.
And
you.
we're gonna do that. So, Elizabeth, tell us a little bit. We're gonna show your video now. It's the animated video. Can you tell us a little bit about that video? Then we'll show the video and come back and Amy's gonna do your interview.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit about the video.
Well, I came out with we're coming out with a series of comic books, but that's the first one.
Okay.
And that's the animation of the comic book. We're working with different people to come up with a series. It'll be like an animation type movies, superhero, girl power superhero, movie animations.
Gotcha. And
that's my first for the comic book.
Is this for your foundation?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Very good. So let's check it out, and then we'll come back and get to the interview.
Okay.
Hello, audience and Elizabeth. We have a brilliant, fantastic, amazing individual as one of as our season 6 kickoff of the Recovery Unplugged podcast. So, Elizabeth is the founder and creator of the MJG movement and the Marcie Gerald Foundation. I'm hearing, I think that's John.
Not me.
Okay, why don't you tell us about this foundation, what inspired you to create it, and why you are so passionate about it?
Yes. Thank you so much for, such an, I'm so honored to be here. Thank you. And congratulations on season 6. And, that's a big accomplishment. But I am Elizabeth Gerald. My non-for-profit is MJG Movement, and my LLC is Marcie's Marvels. They both are in honor of my daughter, Marcie Gerald, who subsequently took her life and as a result of a brutal sexual assault. Um, she was 14 when she was brutally assaulted, and she was 15 when she took her life. And I did get her counseling because everybody always asks me, did I get her counseling? So yes, I got her counseling. She had a really good doctor. But as you know, we had to go to court every month. And it was just an ongoing thing. Every month we had to be there, and he would turn around and laugh and smile and just smirk and wink. And that's just a bit much for a 14-year-old to have to go through every month. It's bad enough he attacked her, and the sexual assault was so bad. She was in the hospital. She couldn't walk because her ovaries and uterus was swollen to the point where she couldn't walk, and he beat her up, and it was just a lot. It was, a lot. And the thing is with him, he had just gotten out of prison. He was not supposed to be in the suburbs. He's supposed to have registered at a halfway house in Chicago, and he didn't. He was able to, go under with the radar without them noticing because his parole officer had, I guess, maybe too many parolees or, convicts or something. So he did not register. And so by him not registering, he was able, to come to the suburbs, and somehow way he's seen my daughter. And I'm not even sure. We don't know when he saw her, how many days he had been watching her, but when he caught her by herself is when it happened. After it happened, the police department referred us to La Rabida. And when I called La Rabida, they didn't have any beds at the time. So they referred us to the YWCA. The YWCA had a bunch of older women there, not, girls in her age. So we got referred to the Leigh Foundation. Is where Dr. Summer Matheson, became her doctor. And, she's a wonderful doctor. I didn't have any problems with her. Everything was good. But as I would say, is we would go to court. And so we ended up, it got to the point where it was just too much. So we asked for a plea deal, and it got 10 years on life parole. And, as everybody speaks, and he wanted to speak, he told my daughter, if you wasn't so beautiful, I wouldn't have been attracted to you. So you have nobody but yourself to blame for what you did, for what I did, because I could not help myself. So, she ended up, taking her life because of that.
I'm so sorry. So what does, obviously this foundation gives, a way to honor and remember your daughter's life and what a beautiful young lady she was inside and out. What is its purpose? What function does it fulfill?
Well, for the non-for-profit, which is MJG Movement, what it is we work with sexual assault victims, domestic violence victims. We work with mental health. We do suicide prevention. And we actually have started feeding the homeless. We just do some of everything right now because so many people started reaching out. Each person is different. Each client is different. Some people need us to help them find housing. Some people need us to go to court, help them get protections of order. Some people may need us to help them, get out of state. Some people, it just depends on the family. We, at the end of the year, we're planning on opening up a safe house, which will help victims of sexual assault, domestic violence, families, and they will stay there. And with that program, they'll stay there. And what we'll do is we'll stay there, we'll feed them and everything, but we'll also have people coming in to teach them traits, like maybe plumbing, electrical, we'll have models come in, beauticians, hair barbers, and celebrities I know have them come in, teach them maybe acting or, music or whatever, to help them get traits, to maybe help them as far as becoming more productive. So once they do leave, they'll be able to pay their bills and be able to get something. So that's what the goal is, to be able to help, with that part of it. And if they need help with counseling, we have counselors we refer them to. We have doctors we refer them to. If they need us to come to court and advocate for them, we do that. Whatever that person needs us to do, we do our best to make it happen.
Okay, so you mentioned as we were catching up shortly before the show started,
Mhm.
um, you are going to be honored this month.
Yeah, it's a
Who are
lot
you
going
going
on
to
this month.
get? So, who are you being honored by? And explain why that's so important to you, why that touches you.
You know what though? It's just everything. And I'm gonna start, talking about sexual assault and suicide and mental health are stigmas. And when I first started talking about it, I figured nobody would care because we really don't care. It's like, so many families deal with suicide and mental health. It's like you're gonna go to hell if you take, and so many people have been brainwashed to believe that suicide is gonna go to hell, or mental health is embarrassing, or so that's why I started doing that. And to have the aptitude of the people that has actually reached out and had my back and has came and told me their stories and have done things, have honored me in other ways, that it's just like wow. And this month is actually, it's like so many things, and emails and stuff, and Desiree, she's just like, hey, this is happening, that's happening. And Friday we're doing a red carpet event, and it'll be like a social justice, and it'll be the lawyer Ben Crump and Tamika Rowley. I think she's going to be there, and a few other big actors will be there. And that's an award ceremony and a dinner, and they're going to have some singers or somebody come. I'm not sure who else coming. And then A Long Walk Home, they're also with like Me Too and all that. Shaharazad, she is the founder of A Long Walk Home. She reached out and said that they want to honor, it'll be a honor in order for my daughter, and that's like towards the end of the month. And that'll be a nice event. And it's just, like I said, these are such big organizations compared to me, that to have them even reaching out and saying, hey, we want to work with you, we want to honor you, it's just such a blessing. It really is. And it's, anytime anybody does anything, I'm just so grateful. Yeah.
So, who have you met along the way in this movement, in your growth and everything? Because I know when you contacted me, I thought, man, why she contacted me? She's, but
Mhm.
I thought it was amazing that you talked to these people, and like with your story, it allowed them to open up to you. So, who are some of the notable people who have touched base with you?
I've met Oprah. I've met Jennifer Lewis. Well, I've sent you pictures. I've met Michelle Obama, and she's a sweetheart. She's not, everybody so that I've met is pretty sweet. Dwayne Wade, his family actually honored me. They were one of the first ones to honor me, because his wife Gabrielle Union and his mom are both victims of sexual assault,
Right,
and
right.
they actually put my daughter's name and story in the Dwayne Wade Foundation in Brooks. So yeah, they did that.
That must
I've met a lot of people. I've met so many
it's
people.
amazing. Yeah.
And I think I've even met a lot of producers, and I mean, it's just so many people that I know. I know people that work with Oprah and people that work with Steve Harvey, and I mean Netflix. Everybody, and it's just that I guess because people look at me and they say, well, they see my sincerity, and it's not about trying to be clout. I don't want to be famous. I just want to get my daughter's name out there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm not trying to be on no reality shows and all that stuff. And I just really want to be able to save lives and help women and girls, um, you know, and
Right.
just be that positive and role model, and let them know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. So, and help as many people as I can. That's what my goal is.
Right. I feel the same way when I talk about my story with bipolar disorder, and when
Right.
it's like like some people say, "Oh, you just like you're riding it for like fame, like you're gonna ride this ponytail."
Right.
I like it's not about that. If it had been about that, this would have been a strategic plan. Um, First there was the blog, then there was this, then there was this,
Hmm.
and then I made the movie, and of course you saw the movie
Hmm.
and enjoyed it. So
Yeah.
that pleases me.
Yeah.
Or you got right. So I worked very hard. John was the key grip,
Okay.
uh, and sometimes the line producer before we went there, and then the key grip
Hmm.
when we got there, and
Hmm.
it's like people see the message, and I've had people say it's like authenticity is what they call it.
Right, right,
Drawn
right.
to the authentic, right? You're
Mhm.
not trying to manipulate. You're not trying to
Exactly.
hustle them. You're just
Right.
being you, and
Exactly.
that will make people draw to you.
Exactly.
How so? We met at the Rap
Hmm.
Pro conference, which was about equality. It was about equity, equality, and inclusion, and there were
Yep.
people such as MJ Rodriguez there,
Mhm.
and just lots of really cool
Lots of
Angela
people.
Russo, just lots of really cool people,
Mhm.
and I mentioned I was a mental health advocate, and
And that's why I
that's
reached out
what,
to you.
and that's why
Yeah,
you reached
right.
out to me, and
Right, because I said, well, she's an advocate, the same thing I do, and I said, well, let's reach up and see if we can connect some kind of way. And when I
yeah,
see people, because it's just so hard, when you talk about mental health. I know a lot of people go through things, so I said, well, let me let her know I'm in mental health too, see if
yeah,
we can ever collab or something. I didn't know what
yeah,
ever happened.
yeah,
One thing I've noticed is some people will respond, and you have some people that'll respond and be like, I'm not getting a lot of support, so they'll just. I've seen a lot of people just give up and because they don't get the support, or then, it's just a shame. And, so a lot of people stop talking about mental health. But lately, for some reason, maybe due to COVID, everybody is now starting to talk about mental health and getting on the mental health boat. And the good thing is all these big celebrities are talking about how, they've attempted suicide and the mental health problems they go through. So that's what's helping, I think, us a lot.
yeah. Most recently, I saw a YouTube video from Alan Cumming, the
Mhm. I
actor
didn't see
Alan,
that one.
uh,
Mhm.
and he talked about how Hollywood kind of saved his life. Like Hollywood can chew you up and spit you out if you're
Mhm.
not in the right headspace.
Mhm.
Uh, but he talked about how he was so insecure about his acting, and so he was actually suicidal at times, and then he got the role in Goldeneye, a James Bond movie. So he was like so like the art, the actual making of the art is what saved you, right? So I've got three
Right.
books, right? And I've got three books going right now, and
Mhm.
it's so nice to have all this stuff dovetail, like you, the
Mhm.
manager, all this stuff, and
Right.
it's just, and knowing you is such a welcome thing, because a lot of times, you know, it can be frustrating when you see other people doing things
Mhm.
and you're like, wait a minute, I did this. I've
Right.
been doing this for 6 years.
Exactly.
And so, right. So I'm doing the American, because like we discussed the American film market, right?
Right.
Uh, so I have a couple of projects I took there, and one of them was like the talk show version that we were
Okay.
discussing. This, I don't know how to put a pitch deck together for a talk show,
Okay.
uh, but I've got the image of, like, if you notice, I don't know if,
Exactly. You know what to do. Right.
yeah, I've got the images, but right, I don't have like, oh, I know how to do it for a fictional series, like for
Right.
like if I'm doing a narrative film or I was doing a narrative
Mhm.
television series,
Mhm.
but this is like a whole different thing. And a lot of times
Exactly.
they say, "Oh, I've had people tell me, oh, you can't do a talk show because you're not famous," and I'm like, "But I know what I'm talking
Mhm.
about." But I,
But
I,
you know what, anybody can do it nowadays, because the simple fact is you have streaming TVs that you can start. You have like Roku and Hulu and even YouTube. Look at how many YouTubers became famous just doing YouTube videos.
yeah,
A lot of them.
you know, I was wondering. So, what project can you tell me about? The animation we saw, what it is, what
Mhm.
it's based on, who your superhero is, what does she do?
Well, she's a superhero. We have our Wonder Womans and everything, but we don't have anybody, for us. So she's a superhero. I was told through victims that like comic books and stuff like that is therapeutic, and they needed a superhero to help them. So she get the bad guys off the streets and lock them up. The sexual assault and sex traffickers and men doing, domestic violence, stuff like that. She swoops down and helps the victims or survivors, however they want to be called, and have them locked up. Just like this, it was superheroes. It's just
They get justice. They get
Right.
justice because
exactly.
uh,
Get
so
justice.
what is she called?
Marcie's Marvels.
In honor of your daughter.
Marcie's Marvels.
And so, any interesting, so are you trying to make it into a film?
No, we're gonna turn it. I can't say everything because I had to sign an NDA. I don't know if I told you that they made me sign an NDA.
Right. Okay. Okay.
But we're working to turn it. It will be seen on national with the rest of their movies. They did.
Yeah, you don't have to say the name of the company. Just know
right.
that.
We're working on turning it into another one of his comic book movies.
Ooh, so that's to be awesome. Can't wait. I know I'll be there. Hey, if it's at the theaters or on streaming, wherever it's at, I'll be there to see and support.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate you.
Oh, well, I appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Not too many people reached out to me at that Rap Pro thing, but
so many people are dealing with mental health and
right.
But it's the shame and it's like, well, I can't reach out and stuff because a lot of people don't want people to know that they deal with it. It's crazy.
Right.
But,
right.
I reached out because I said, well, let me see what she, and look at it.
But everybody there, I think everybody there was so focused on the famous or named people that were there that they didn't see the benefit and maybe networking within each other. And that's the thing about AFM. It's like it's as much and that was AOF, right? It was as much about they had this thing called Dinner with Del. And it's a premium thing. And you get to talk to Del, but it's hard to talk to Del during the festival because everything going on, right?
Right.
So when he was alive, he would do Dinner with Del. And but it was as much, and it was a limited dinner. There's about 12 people, and Del plus a guest of honor, and it was as much about networking with the other filmmakers at the table in an intimate fashion over a really nice meal, and I realized, that was any festival is what you make of it. And of course, I've got you coming to two of mine. One in Las Vegas, the Conquering Disabilities with Film, where the major award in honor of your daughter, first year, establishing year, is going to you.
Thank you.
And
can't wait.
And then of course I'm having a much smaller festival in Louisville, and you are also speaking there on.
And that's the one in March.
That's in March.
And is that's Women Empowerment Month, and Life magazine is going to have me on the cover in March.
My God!
So that'll be pretty cool. Yep. So that's why I have to do updated headshots for the magazine.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, so I'll be in the magazine, so I'll be able to send you that.
So grounded.
Yeah.
You're so grounded and so humble, and it's like, wow. You've got all these amazing things, and
you know what though, I give it all to God because I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm so blessed and humble. I really am.
Yeah, and I'm, it's like when things happen, like a lot of things happening with me right now. It's like, it's just overwhelming in a good way. And I love the fact you're coming to Louisville and that you're going to be referenced, that you're not only a woman, but you're a woman of color, and that you're coming to my festival to don't get me wrong, most of the things I attend locally, it's kind of a whiteout. There are other people there, but it is and also it tends to be a sausage fest. Um,
Okay.
it's nice to have a woman there, and and I have multiple women come into this festival. I have an agent who does books, not mine, but a local agent from a literary agency
Okay.
for scripts, and
Mhm.
also, and she be like, but you like as you're coming as a
Mhm.
speaker,
Mhm.
what you bring to the table. I'm trying to elevate. You know how you want to elevate, and I just don't feel
Exactly.
like I just, even though it's only 2 days, um,
Mhm.
I've packed a lot into it. And I think a person like you brings like added value because you're not just,
Thank you.
with your documentary, with this comic book that's developing to something higher, and you have met lots of people, but you're also very approachable. So,
Right. Yeah.
and some people don't want to be approached. Some people who reach that
Right.
level are like very protective and have that barrier up.
I
And
know.
and I understand because there are a lot of people who are out to use and manipulate others.
Yes, and
But
yeah,
in
it's true.
Louisville, there's just not a look. There is Imaginarium, which is a very fun thing, and it includes books and film and
Mhm.
screenplays. But it, some there, it's just different. I'm not saying my festival
Mhm.
is better or anything like that.
Exactly.
In fact, I wanted to make sure my festival did not take place during Imaginarium because I don't want to step on that what
Gotcha.
they
I got
built,
you. Got you.
right?
Right.
But I want to bring maybe something that's not to the table yet. And I think my day of film, what the lineup I have is a little bit different. Not necessarily better, but just like different than what they cater to.
Mhm.
I so I am very excited to have you come.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited about coming. Thank you.
And Las Vegas is going to be awesome because it's Las Vegas, and
Yes.
I was I was fortunate enough to have John and my parents there this year for the screening of Letters to Daniel, and
Oh wow, that was nice. Okay.
so that was a
Cool.
highlight. That was a highlight of a very hard year. But
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sorry about your friend.
yeah, but his wife and children. He had a 14-year-old and a
Wow.
12-year-old, and Teresa, his wife, was as much a part of that dynamic
Hmm.
of the festival, and so she's carrying on the AOF mantle, which is much her as it was him, but she tended to be in the background. But
Right.
and sometimes people don't appreciate that, but
Oh
uh,
wow.
but she, but she's amazing. Her
Good.
kids are amazing people, and I'm looking forward to you meeting her next.
Yeah. Okay. That was pretty cool.
Okay, so and I'll just let you know now that the dates for AOF slash Conquering Disabilities and everything else is July 25th
Hmm.
through August 1st. And
Okay.
you don't have to be there the whole time. We can arrange like a couple of days because I know you are a busy bee.
Right.
I'm on I'm on the cover of Life magazine. That's just so amazing. Are there any other things that you would want to impart to the audience about using art as a healing mechanism, or uh, what it's like to just go out there and reach out to people?
Um, what is it like to go out and just reach out to people? I don't really never think about nothing like that. When I go out, and, or when people reach out to me and they ask me for my help, it's just my natural instinct to help. It's not, we're supposed to, that, and that's how I grew up. But we're in an era where it's like you were just saying, people wants to use you, I do kind of get it when you get to a certain level of fame, you have to be protected because people are crazy. If you could see the stuff that I get inbox every time somebody sees me on a show or something, and you can only imagine the stuff that they get, and everybody wants, then it just gets harder the higher up. So if somebody like Michelle Obama comes, even people that claim they don't like her or want to take pictures with her or want to sit down and talk with her, tell her problems, this, that, and the other, ask for money, their house needs to be, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's why a lot of times it becomes too overwhelming when you get thousands and thousands and thousands of people coming towards you. I'm not trying to get like that, you know what I'm saying? But the messages I get, I can only imagine what they get. There's some really crazy people, and I've had people like inbox me, hey, and I'll send you some texts. They'll send me crazy stuff like, hey, Elizabeth, how are you? And if I don't respond, then they'll get upset, and hey, then they'll want to cuss you out, and I don't even know you, or it's just crazy, or I hate you because you won't speak to me. It's just like dumb stuff. So I get it. And then as far as using art, it just depends on the person. Like I said, the comic books and the coloring books is good and therapeutic. Painting is also therapeutic. That's why a lot of people have those little like paint parties, because that's therapeutic. I don't know. It's different things you can do. Drawing, if you're like a drawer, or even just reading sometimes, you know what I'm saying? It just depends on the person, because everybody's different. They like to do different things. Everybody doesn't like comic books and coloring books. You got some people that might prefer to paint, or you got some people that, it just depends on the person and what they like from art.
Oh, well, I want to say you look quite lovely today. I love your hair.
Thank you.
And I thought I'd share with you, and I'll share with it. So, John, do you have any questions, or are there any questions out there?
No questions out there, but I do have some comments. First, this is a first for the podcast.
Oh, wow.
The broadcast. We heard the term whiteout and sausage fest. So keep that in mind, everybody. If you want to go back and rewind to get context, make sure you do that. What I really liked, one reaction was for Elizabeth when we were talking about greater awareness now of overall mental health when people kind of dealing with the COVID crisis and bringing it to the forefront. I think people are more comfortable talking about it, at least trying to understand it, and I think that's really important. And the other thing is your authentic empowerment is kind of what I take away from your work and where you're going as you achieve your goals. And so I really appreciated the interview, and it was nice to hear about your work. Yeah, so thanks for being on, for sure.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, and I wanted to say I'm going to New York to see a Broadway show in March.
All right.
And it's Macbeth with Daniel Craig and Ruth Negga. And I might actually get to go backstage and meet them.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Hey, do you need a GoPro and that you can wear on your head? Hi, Daniel. Man. Hi, Daniel. Amy McCorkle, big fan. I'm here for Recovery Unplugged Live. Little did you know that we talk about you all the time.
So
that's cool. That's exciting.
Yeah, so say some prayers that it works out. It's not a definite at this point.
Is it a definite that you're going, but and a maybe that you'll be backstage?
Yes, it's a I bought the ticket, so I'm going to see Macbeth. Okay. Yeah. So I'll get to be in the same building with them.
I feel that you'll be able to pull that off.
Yeah, it should be able to.
Oh, I
hope so. Take some stormtroopers in with you or something. Get some Klingons or something behind you and get back there.
Right.
Does anybody have anything else to say?
I don't think so. What's next for Recovery Unplugged Live? And then let's give Elizabeth the closing thought.
Okay. Actually, I am connecting with an individual about her documentary from AFM, and her name is Janet, and I can't pronounce her last name yet.
Oh, wow.
But she will probably be our guest next week.
All right.
Okay, yay.
We are authentic on Recovery Unplugged Live, so look for Janet next week. And when we post the video feed, we'll actually put her last name and her accomplishments and what we're going to be talking about. So
Okay.
thanks for joining, everyone. Elizabeth,
Thank
you can
you.
have the last word, and then we will close on out. And we're going to show your video, your animated video again at the end.
Okay. Thank you all so much for having me. My name is Elizabeth Gerald TF on Facebook, MJG Movement on IG, MJG Movement on Twitter, and I have an MJG Movement page on Facebook also.
All right. Thanks, Elizabeth. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Thank
Have a good
you.
evening.
You too.
Afternoon,
Bye-bye.
or morning. Bye-bye.
Bye.
My life was upside down and shaking all around. There seemed no end inside. I thought I was losing. I remember what you say. You've got a place for me. Protection from the storm. It's you I'm choosing.